Thank you for using Tax 990 as an authorized e-file provider to assist you in filing the 990 series forms. Today we're going to talk about how to complete the balance sheet using the interview-based filing format on the 990 EZ form. We're going to begin by adding our revenue and expenses. You can add revenue to any of the categories that apply to you. We're going to start today by just adding it to other revenue. And we're first going to indicate that yes, we do have other revenue to report. And then we're going to add that revenue information. Once we've added all of our revenue information, we're going to proceed to the expenses. And the same applies to your expenses. You can add the information to any necessary category that the expense applies to. We already have the value listed here of a $15,000 rent expense. So we're gonna go ahead and click next. We're gonna work through the net assets and balance sheet, and we'll start by indicating our beginning of year net assets. And we have here $72,000. So we're going to go ahead and click next, where we will input our assets and liabilities for the year. You'll input your assets in the necessary categories for both beginning and end of year, and it will generate the total assets at the bottom. And the liabilities will work the same way, where you'll input your liabilities in the necessary categories, and the total will generate at the bottom. So as you can see here, we've input our different values, and the calculations have been completed here at the bottom, and we'll do the same thing for our liabilities. And our total liabilities have been calculated, giving us our net asset or fund balance for both beginning and end of year. This value is calculated by determining the difference between your assets and your liabilities. So you're subtracting your liabilities from your total assets, giving you the net asset fund balance for both beginning and end of year. When we proceed to the next page, we'll have the reconciliation of net assets and fund balances, telling us that our beginning of year balance sheet matches and our end of year matches accordingly. If either of these boxes were red, you would be able to edit the appropriate section by clicking the edit button. For example, if we removed or edited this value and proceeded back to the reconciliation page, we would see that it threw off all of our boxes, and we would have to edit the information. We want this value and this value to match, because that will pull down into these values as well. So because we've only indicated our end of year or our beginning of year as 10,000, then it edited the information here, causing this number to be low. So we'll go back up and edit this value, which again balanced out our reconciliation sheet. Now, if this number here was too high or too low, we would be able to edit our assets and liabilities, and vice versa. If this number was too high or too low, we would be able to edit our revenue and expenses to determine the correct amount to match accordingly. If you have any questions on your balance sheet, please contact our support team via email, phone, or chat. We're happy to help, but please keep in mind we cannot provide direct tax advice or direction on how to specifically report your organization's financial information or what categories your finances fall into. But please give us a call if you have errors or questions on how to resolve them.